Hey everybody, welcome back to STRC. This is going to be a little bit of a build update, kind of following my path into Motorama coming up here in about 5 weeks or so, I think. Something like that. February 15th, 16th, 17th. So this is my SCX10 too. This is the truck I'm going to be running at Motorama. Some of you have seen this truck before, some of you haven't. Even if you had seen it before, it has definitely gone through a little bit of changes. So first off, I'm just going to start off with what we have sitting before us, and then I got some other stuff to bring in. First things first, please forgive my crude setup here. My shop's going through a little bit of a transformation right now, so this is just a temporary area. First things we got here is a receiver box falling out, but that's okay. One of the things I did was, you'll notice here, I cut out the axial receiver box, and in the back here I actually mounted this plate. It's just styrene with like spray on bed liner, zip tied in 5 different spots, and then this is the Traxxas receiver box. Listen, I'm an axial boy through and through, but you've seen my videos, you know I like to play in the water. Traxxas receiver box, just, they're more waterproof without like going crazy and like super caulking the axial ones. Like the Traxxas ones are better in my opinion. I like the way they're designed. I really don't like that rubber like piece where the wires come out from the receiver box in the axial. I very much prefer the way that the Traxxas box is designed. So, you know, let the hating begin. I know I've been getting it since I did it. The other thing you'll notice is the chrome bumpers. Maybe you know what that's from, maybe you don't. I'm not going to spoil it right now if you don't know what they're from. Had a friend of mine he has a TRX4 Bronco, ordered exhaust pipes for his, and they sent him the SCX10 2 ones instead, so he gave them to me. That's why they're on. I kept them where they're at, which if you look from the back angle, they sit kind of low compared to the bumper, but I like it because if I hit a rock or something, like it goes right up behind my bumper and doesn't really screw with my clearance too much, so I'm letting it there. Some of the other things that we did since the last time anyone has seen this on the channel is right here we got a servo winch that I made. I'm actually going to be making those and selling them soon, so be on the lookout for that. Sorry about that, fighting something. The other thing are the shocks. These are the G-Made XD piggyback shocks, 93 millimeter length. Those things are awesome. Super awesome. Can't say enough good things about them. They are probably one of the more complex shocks that I've ever built. They took me a while just because I wanted to make sure they were done really well. Let's see what else we got going on here. This is the bumper. Let me try and squeeze it in here. The bumper, I cut a hole out, put a fair lead in it because of the angle that this is coming down at, I took a piece of antenna tube and wedged it in there, wedged it in this end, zip tied it down so that my cable could kind of bend down through that without getting messed up, or messing up the brace. So the reason my receiver box is just hanging there, by the way, is because the steering servo cable is not long enough to reach here, so I got to put an extension in. I just haven't done it yet. Not only that, I knew that I was upgrading my receiver to the new SR515 receiver, which is significantly smaller. Just a little comparison, if you can really see too well. It doesn't really look that much smaller on video. I'm looking at the screen right now, but in person, it's astonishingly different. But I'm going to be using this receiver along with the new DX5 Rugged. I just did a review video on that earlier. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check that out. So that's why that's still floating around. I haven't taken the time to actually put it in there. The other things that this thing is now sporting that I don't think it had before were the G-Made wheels, beadlocks with the Pitbull Rock Beasts. The last thing that I did to this thing since the last time anyone had really seen it, is I put the overdrive gears in the front axle. I did not put the underdrive in the rear, mainly because I still want to take this thing trailing. So I think in my experience, the overdrive in the front and the underdrive in the rear, that's just too much different. And it's only, at that point, I've kind of turned it into a dedicated crawler, not a crawler and trail truck. So that's why I just went with the overdrive in the front. Sorry guys, like I said, I'm fighting something right now. The next things that we got coming up that this thing is going to be getting all my stuff out of my box here behind me. We have the Axial SCX10 version 2 full bearing kit. I've had that thing for a while. You've probably seen it in one of my past videos, and I've been waiting to put it in until I got this, which is the RC screwz. It's the SCX10 to Jeep Cherokee stainless steel screw kit, which, if you watch my video, you know this was the SCX10 to Jeep Cherokee kit. So I know it doesn't come with any of the specialty screws, so for now I'm just gonna not have the specialty screws in stainless steel, and hopefully I can try and find like the grub screws or the shoulder screws, stuff like that. So if you know where to get those specialty screws in stainless steel to fit this thing, please leave a comment down in below or whatever, get a hold of me somehow and let me know where you can get them. The next thing I have that will be going on this guy are the RC four-wheel drive ARB diff covers. Nothing too special. Just want to get away from them stock plasticky ones and make them look a little better, a little nicer. The next thing that we got for this guy that will be going on here is the STRC aluminum rear lockouts. Then we have the C-hubs and the steering knuckles, also STRC in red to match. And last but not least, certainly not least, we have the SCX10 2 1/4-inch stainless steel Incision Vanquish Link Kit. So that's what's getting ready to be happening with this thing. I will not be doing a video of me putting all this stuff in. What I'll probably do as I'm standing here talking to you is I probably won't upload this video that I'm talking in right now. I'll probably put all this stuff in there and then you'll see it when it's done. There's hundreds of videos out there of me putting it together, so you're not going to see that. But that's what's going on with that thing. I'm still working on the body. The body's coming along. I'm just waiting to get some parts in for the body, and then we'll get the body painted up. The body is going to have its own little section. It's going to have its own little video because there's some parts going in there that I really want to showcase from a couple different people. I got 1, 2, 3, I think, 3 different people printing me some 3D parts, whether it be actual parts, accessories, or interior pieces, whatever the case may be. I got parts coming from 3 different people for that, some of which I know personally, some of which I know, just from the crawler side of things. So be on the lookout for that video. And as always, guys, like, share, subscribe. I don't know why I just said that because this is the middle of the video, so keep watching. Alright everybody, welcome back. Change of venue, change of location. I got my phone dinging. So got the screw kit installed, got the links done, got the axle stuff in. The only thing I haven't done was actually install the new receiver. I did bind it, I just haven't actually installed it for a couple of reasons. One, had some wiring things I needed to do. Number 2 was I actually took out the old receiver and have it here for a size comparison. And it definitely is going to save a pretty decent amount of space, honestly. It doesn't really look like it might initially, but when you put it in the receiver box, you can definitely tell how it's going to save a pretty decent amount of space. So we have that. Everything, like I said, everything else that I was going to do is done. Minus my wiring mess going on right now. Got some liquid tape drying up. So as you can see, Back here's one, up here, or some. All of them are stainless. There's the new links. There's the front axle pieces. And then of course the rear axle pieces are all done. So there's a couple screws that obviously that kit doesn't come with, but it actually came with a lot more than what I thought it was going to. And I'll show you right here quick. The only screws that this thing does not come with are these right here, the shoulder screws and the screw shafts. They're the only two screws it doesn't come with. It actually did come with all of these here. If you run the stock links, it does come with these longer set screws for your links. So that all comes in there. Now, with that being said, I want to go over the screw kit for just a moment with you. This is this kit the screw kit that I used. It's the original RC screws. I had no problem with them. None of them were stripping out or seemed like they wanted to strip out, which is a problem with stainless steel at times. However, I did every screw in this truck, transmission, everything, every single screw is now stainless steel except for the two screws that I showed you that didn't come with it. This is how many, see if I can do it without spilling them everywhere. This is how many screws are still left. I could probably do 2 more trucks with one of these kits. So if you have multiple trucks, this is great. If you don't have multiple trucks, maybe you and your buddies have some, I recommend splitting the cost of this and doing them together. Otherwise, it's just a lot of money. This is like $35 for a screw kit you're only going to use maybe 10-15% of. So that's my thoughts, that's my opinion on it. I'll use them somewhere along the lines. But that's it. Just wanted to wrap up this video. As always, guys, like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next